Good morning. These
Okay.
okay.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Thanks. I had a problem with my mic.
Same
It
here,
was,
man.
PC load.
I was what and now I can hear myself. I don't know how this is.
That's probably because you're not coming through my headphones. Give me 1 second.
No. I can hear I can hear myself through my headphones.
Oh,
This is ridiculous.
interesting. And that's not what you'd want?
No. Is that doesn't work? Jesus Christ.
You're
Let me
frustrated.
jump out. Let me jump out. I'll be
Yeah,
right
no
back.
worries. Okay. Hey, everybody. Let's write a rap song. Okay. What do we want to rap about? I think that's how you start. I see Whole Foods across the street. Let's rap about groceries. Grocer. Could you get any grocer? What's up, buddy?
I logged on. I can't do this with headphones in. I logged on earlier and everything worked great. I logged on at 7 a.m. and everything worked great. I can't hear you for a second. Let me say this and then I'm gonna have to figure it out. And now I logged back in. Mic doesn't work. Had to switch the source, and now all of a sudden I can't stop hearing myself through these fucking headphones. And all I want to do is just not hear myself. But I can't even figure out where to turn it off. I don't know where that is. And it wouldn't be so bad, but it's like on a quarter-second delay that I hear my own voice.
Yeah, you don't.
No.
Yeah, it's bad.
What happened? I don't get it. I really don't. And now I can't even open G Hub.
Yeah, that's where I was having the problem. There was a driver that was blocked that I had to unblock, but it wasn't so cut and dry. It was a little murky.
What are they thinking?
I mean, I think that the G Hub software is cool, but I kind of hate it, you know?
It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool that there is software that comes that you can control, that I can control my camera and my mic through, but it's terrible. I hate any software that insists on opening when I start up my computer.
That's a good point. That's a good way to
software that they you know what I mean? They just write into the code. Oh, you know what? Let's just make sure every time they start up the computer, it pops up, so it takes longer. I hate that. I resent them.
And it always seems the windows pop up when it's loading over something you're actually trying to do.
Exactly.
That happens with work. When I turn my work laptop on, all I need to do is log on remotely, and I can't because it just on the bottom right, it's like one after another. This doesn't connect. This is connected. This can't connect. Enter this. Virus protection. Close. God damn it.
I saw something the other day that viruses are no longer a thing.
As we knew them?
Yeah.
The old school viruses
you
used to get from LimeWire?
They've been eradicated.
So what do we have now?
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. Like if it doesn't get right into it pretty quickly, I'm going to bail. I don't have that level of attention span or concentration.
So the device settings, let's walk through this. The device settings on, because I can still hear myself, and I'm gonna throw my computer through the wall. G Hub device settings is usually where you would go, right? Let's take a look. I'm going to show you this. Okay.
Are you in the G Hub software? Sorry, I was
Here it is.
next to my mom. Yeah. Yeah.
The mom's. Okay. So I'm going to be. I need to turn this off. I don't know how.
You need to turn what off?
The fact that I can hear myself through my headphones. And even if I switch my headphones to a completely different. It's so weird, man.
You know, it's interesting. So I have mine open right now, and so do you. And both of our settings are called Broadcaster 1, Copy 1.
That's another. That's another.
I know, just
issue.
like that's terrible. Why would any like both of ours? And neither of us selected that. Anyway, let's figure out your thing.
Well, okay. Hold on. It's got to be coming through here.
So I think the easiest way to do it, you see that box that's checked that says enable blue voice?
Okay, so when I turn that off,
try it.
This happens. It doesn't. It just makes my mic sounds worse.
Yeah,
I think.
Right. Yeah, it does.
So if I change my speaker within StreamYard to something else,
do I sound different?
I can still hear myself, but I probably can't hear you talk now.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I can still hear myself. So it's not StreamYard. All right, so I'm back to hearing you.
Okay.
You got any ideas, man? So okay, here's device settings, right?
I don't even understand how you got. I don't even understand what the purpose would be of you being able to hear yourself on a 3-second delay. Like, did you?
It's not 3 seconds. It's worse. It's like quarter second.
Okay, but either way, why would you be able to hear yourself in your headphones? Is that a setting that you one time enabled that you no longer need?
I think I used to do it with this, which is the how we do the laugh and stuff like that. Oh, but now that's not even working. It's got to be this.
Maybe that's.
And there's a hear myself right here.
Okay.
So now it's on. Now it's off, and now it worked all of a sudden. So I had to flip that fucking switch twice.
Oh, you were stuck in the in between. You were in hear myself purgatory. Okay, good. I'm glad we got that figured out because you know how much I love conversations about microphones.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that was an all right one.
What's with your nice necklace, by the way?
Yeah, I wear this every day. Aviel got me this from Israel, this little pendant from Israel years ago, like when we were in high school. And
you wear it every day. Huh? That's the first time I've ever seen you wear it.
Yeah, because I never display it outwardly. But when I popped it, when I put on this sweatshirt this morning, it was over top, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave it like this for the podcast. I think this is a good look. I think this is the new look I'm going for.
Well, it hasn't hurt viewership. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Well, you never know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So I was going to say something about that. There was, what was it? I had made some kind of correlation between the number, like the episodes okay, let me stop. It's early. I was looking at how many views each of our episodes had, right? Yeah. And trying to determine why some videos had 40 views and others had 3.
Okay.
But I forget.
That's as far as you got. That's as far as you got.
I actually made it a little bit farther. I just don't remember what I had concluded. But I do remember thinking that because we're pushing them to YouTube as live videos, they probably won't be served up to people in the algorithm. Do you agree?
Maybe. I don't know that that's our issue right now.
No, I think it's an issue, but like if we start talking about a certain topic that may get fed to people, I think that could make we're sort of
Well,
in
yeah.
the we hope someone stumbles upon us, but I don't think there's any way they can stumble upon a live unless they're looking for a live.
That's not true.
No? Okay.
In my homepage, I get live feeds from certain channels that I've visited before.
Okay.
Like
okay, so I'm just not in the habit of watching live, so I don't get fed those.
Yeah.
Right, got it.
But your point's taken. I mean, I get it. We don't have a topic.
Well, no, that's not my point. I'm not saying we should have a topic. I'm saying that we should. It's what I've been saying all along. We should do snippets. We should post snippets as non-live videos, so that when people come to our page, they don't have to go to the lives tab to look for content, and they can get some short, digestible stuff. And then I was like, okay, well, how do I work back from generating snippets? Although we always have like fun stuff to talk about and funny little bits. But I don't know. I guess I have a mind that like is always trying to be. I'm always thinking about like commoditization, right? And I'm trying to unprogram that. Like how do we commoditize the podcast? By breaking it into little segments and allow people to consume content that they're used to and accustomed to. And I like when they do this, or I only want to hear them talk about that, right? It's the same reason they put a table of contents in the front of a book or chapters, like there's people just like that predictability. But I don't know if we're going to like that. And I don't know if I want to do that. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I can tell you right now that I am absolutely not trying to get famous doing this.
No, me neither. But I do think it would be a lot more fun if people watched.
Oh, the interaction.
Actually, we're having a ball right now.
So here's the thing. If people are watching live, they can interact. If they're not watching live, then it's like what's really, they're just watching later and maybe leaving a comment. I mean, that doesn't change this at all, right?
No.
If they were live, if it was live and people were watching and chatting and stuff, and we could react to that would be interesting, right? Because that's like a live audience, other than just someone watching a YouTube video and maybe leaving a comment that we review at a later date. That doesn't appeal to me. But this
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I watch YouTube videos and you watch Twitch.
I watch YouTube videos too.
No, I know.
I like
I'm
YouTube
just saying
videos.
that, like, I should say, because I don't spend time watching live feeds and you do, right? So like that thought didn't even occur to me. But I get what you're saying.
When I watch Twitch or YouTube live videos, either one, I never chat, I never interact. But I like the fact that that's it, right? There's a video game being played or airplanes landing, whichever ones I'm watching. That's a great one, by the way. I love that one. I
love that you love that. It makes me very happy.
There is you're playing a video game and these guys grind through Super Mario Brothers levels that people make. And it can be a grind. Like they'll spend an hour playing the same level. And that's not exactly great viewing, but they can always go back to the chat and kind of pick something up from there and then talk about that. And then kind of it's really impressive actually how they're able to play these games at such high levels and still communicate with people.
Yeah.
Like while they're doing it. It's like autopilot with their thumbs.
It's
and
like,
so I think that's
broadcasters who can read the news while the producer's talking in their ear.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you remember this, but we had, when we were in high school, Channel 19 had that, they would show students stuff most of the day, but for a big part of the day, they just had like that graphic bulletin board, essentially slideshow.
Yeah. Yeah. What's coming up
like
prom will be, whatever.
The band bake sale is September 10th. I don't know. For their trip to Orlando. I remember talking to Jack Zebo and being like, Josh and I want to do a radio show while that's playing. And he's like, You're not.
There's
We're not gonna-
4 hours left in the day that we're not on TV, and we want that time.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're not doing that.
Yeah,
and
that
here's
would've been
why.
catastrophic.
It wasn't that he didn't think we could do it, but he was just like, here's, I'm like, well, we do, we'll just do like the basketball games. We still ends up talking to one another. And he's like, yeah, but you always have the basketball game to go back to. And if you take that away, then it gets to the point where you guys don't have anything going on. Like there's nothing to go back
Jack,
to.
Mr. Zebo, what is this,
showed you.
episode 31? Yeah. Wrong.
At least
I think he probably didn't. He probably
made
just
a good
didn't want
point.
to sit in a room editing a 3-hour conversation between us for all of the content that we shouldn't have talked about.
As soon as he said that, I was like, you're right. And that makes sense to me. Because at that point, I was at least self-aware enough to be like, I can't drive a conversation for an hour.
At no point in my life,
nothing.
There's never been. No, I disagree with. I mean, I hear you, and that's good, but I would never have agreed to that. I would have said, dude, you can put a mic in my face for 4 hours and I will find something to talk about without.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I guess not by myself, but with you there, I would have been able to.
Could have figured it out, but it wouldn't have been very entertaining.
I don't know.
For us, it would have been. That's just like everything. I'm only doing this because I think it's funny and I think it's cool. I'm not doing it because I care about what someone in Omaha thinks who may stumble across the video. But anyway, so it's always been the issue, right? Like you gotta have something going on.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think we could probably find a. I like the idea of something to come back to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're never at a loss for topics, but
you know what I was thinking? So what video game system do you have?
I have a Switch and an Xbox. And a Mac.
I think, well, you know how that goes. We're gonna play Snipping Tool Simulator. So what if we PGA Tour 2K23?
Okay.
It's not the most recent one. It's one prior to that. They just came out with a new one.
Why wouldn't we do the new one?
Because I think you can play 2K23 crossplay, meaning I can play on my PC and you can play on Xbox, I think.
Right.
And I think it's on sale right now, actually.
Let's
for $20.
see.
Let me look at Steam. Where the fuck is Steam? There it is.
Hey, what's the status of your knees?
Not great.
Like
my right knee's fine. My left knee, I had my ACL replaced. It's okay. I don't think about it too much anymore, but it wasn't great. It's not as good. That's for sure.
I mean, just not normal wear and tear. When you get up in the morning, do they hurt?
Not so much that I notice it.
Okay.
Fuck, man. There it is. That's me typing in 2K23 on my number pad.
I'm seeing it for $20 on Amazon for Xbox. I mean, I would just go on my Xbox and download it, but
yeah, it's on sale now. Let me just make sure that it's cross.
Have you ever played NBA 2K?
Only with you, so once.
It's a lot of fun. Like, let me just pitch this for a second. There's a big learning curve. Like, skill really matters. I got into it for a few years, and I would play a lot, right? And I was never good enough to compete. But there's a playground setting where it's better if you have a squad to go with, right? 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Or you could go to like the rec center, which is 5-on-5. So we could form a 2-on-2 team. And if you win, you stay on the court, right? And other teams can wait to challenge you. Or if you're a single, you can try to hop on. But as a single, like, it's hard to get people to play with you unless your stats are like incredibly hard or incredibly high. And to build those stats, you have to spend hours and hours and hours and hours grinding. And so, and then next year you have to start it all over again, right? So that part's frustrating, but could be interesting. There's definitely a 2K community as well.
Yeah.
Now pitch the golf game. Tell me why this one. I've kind of heard it sucked.
I don't know. I've never played it. But I think video game golf, one, I've done it in the past, and I think it is. I've made it work for purposes of like just talking, but having something on in the background.
So the review from IGN is bland virtual golfing with limited ways to play is hard to get excited about.
Love it. That's why it's $20.
Yeah.
I think it's it may be worth trying.
Let's see if they improved for the recent year.
So the recent year's not crossplays that I think.
Oh, I don't think there is a new one.
It's called Tiger Woods PGA. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12? No. There's a new one.
I mean, dude, I would play the old Tiger Woods games. Those were phenomenal.
I'm fine playing any of them as long as there's that's crossplay, and that's the issue because they purposely don't add it at the beginning.
Well, but can we get like an old later? One? Can we get like Tiger Woods 2008 on Steam?
PGA 2K23 is the same thing. It's got Tiger on the fucking cover.
No, I know, but like those old Tiger Woods games were good. The new ones aren't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
I don't know if that. I mean, you're getting like new technology and graphics, but those old games were so much fun. Do you ever play them? The old Tiger Woods EA games. You spin the ball in the air, spin.
You can spin it any direction in the air.
Yeah, that was great.
Very realistic.
That was great.
Let's see. We just search for some Tiger Woods.
I mean, I love anything golf related, and I love video games.
So that's my point, Rod, is that golf is slow enough.
Why don't I fire up Zelda? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Golf is slow enough that you can. I would get way frustrated watching you play Zelda.
I know that's what I'm expecting.
All right,
because like our minds work very differently.
If you can figure out a way to broadcast it, then let's do that. That would be funny.
Okay. Yeah.
Golf is slow enough and it's mindless enough that we can just continue to have these conversations while it's something going on in the background, and would show it, right? We'd show it in the big screen, and there's not like you can stop if you need to. It's not like
oh yeah, I can use my Xbox to stream from my Switch. That's pretty cool.
Your Xbox to stream from your Switch that goes into your then computer. You have to figure out how to connect it to your computer.
That's easy. My Xbox is connected to a monitor that's sitting right next here. And Allison told me, listen to this. Tell me what you would do in this situation. So Allison's in a new role now as a program manager, but in her old role, part of her responsibilities were office manager, right? And they're moving buildings. The team is moving buildings. So when I worked there, I had a MacBook that couldn't connect to 2 monitors, right? So I went to IT at Amazon and I said, I have this computer. Can you help me connect to 2 monitors? And they said, no, it can't. But we do have a 34-inch curved Dell monitor that you just need to request budget for. Or they just said you just need to get approval from your boss. So my boss sat right outside the IT room. He was the big boss at the time. The team was brand new. And I was like, Frank, can I get a monitor? And he was like, yeah, sure. And so they gave it to me. And he came out of his office about an hour later and he was like, Selkovitz, you didn't tell me that the monitor was $1,000. And I didn't know.
Wait.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. They didn't mention that. I was like, why don't we switch? I was like, I'll take your monitor, you take the big one. And he was like, no. I'm just, you enjoy it. So people would see that I was the only one that had this big, amazing, beautiful monitor at my desk. And then they started requesting them, right? Now, fast forward to today. They're moving buildings. For whatever reason, the team in charge of moving offices didn't account for those big monitors and has no way of packaging them and moving them. So there's a monitor graveyard of about, Allison said, maybe a dozen sitting in the office. Wait a second.
How many buildings away? Like, how far away is this new office?
Several New York City blocks.
Oh,
right.
They can't carry them.
You maybe, but like that's not how they do it. They've got a team that's got to, you want to carry. We got to put in a work order for that, and carry work order. That's going to take 2 to 3 business weeks. So the guy says to Amazon, or the guy says to Allison, yeah, it's going to be 5 to 7 business months. That he's like, we can't bring those over. So, if you or anyone wants one to take home, go ahead. So they're sitting there right now. Would you take one?
Absolutely. Well, I don't need one. I have 2 of them right now.
You have the Dell 34-inch curved monitors?
They're LGs, but they're 34 inches and they're stacked one on top of another.
They're
it's
great.
Sick, man.
I love
great.
Those monitors. I actually had one. I had one and I sold it. But I want to replace this shitty monitor that was also purchased by Amazon with one of those big curved ones. So we're going into the city tomorrow, and then I'm flying home to Pittsburgh, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the monitor home. Like when we can go to Amazon, extract the monitor, bring it back here. And I also think someone's going to come asking for those monitors sooner or later.
I doubt it.
I mean, the people who went through the process of requesting that monitor and got $1,000 of their team's budget, used $1,000 of their team's budget for it, who are now going to be in a new office without that monitor, are probably going to ask, hey, where's that monitor that I asked for and have to fight for?
So just don't, if Allison goes in there and takes one, she's not going to sign it out, right?
No.
He said, just come get it. So it's never going to get traced back to Josh Selkovitz.
Yeah.
I think you do it, man. I don't know. That's worth the 2 of you driving into the office.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know how
at night.
Much they are nowadays. Yeah.
They're not that expensive. Mine are like, they're like $400, man.
But the time that I bought it, yeah, you're right. 400. I'm seeing 6. That's a newer one. 480, 750. Ooh, there's a 49-inch one for 1400. That's what I want now. 34 is not going to get the job done. But they're
49 inches.
Yeah, 49-inch. Here, I'll show you. It's pretty cool, actually.
I agree with you. They're phenomenal. I got, it's all about the stand as well. Yep. That's too big.
I don't know, man. I don't think there is such a thing as too big when it comes to monitors.
It's like if it was 49 inches, like a TV's 49 inches. How big is that? That's 34. That's 34, that's the one you won. That's the one
I had and won again.
Oh, had. Yeah, right. I think that's fine. When you get to 49, it's too wide.
Let's see, 38 maybe? 38 looks nice. I'm on a 27-inch now, and I love it. Mm-hmm. But I've seen some setups where I have windows in front of me, so I couldn't do it. But I've seen some setups where people basically just put up a OLED panel, like a TV, basically. I like that. How could you there's no such thing as too big. Like I have 6 applications open right now that are all overlaying each other. It would be great to have them.
Listen, it's too big if it's in that profile. I don't want 49 inches like this, right? I want if it was 49 inches like a TV at like whatever the 16:9 or whatever, not like,
right,
not longer. But it never gets higher; it just gets longer. I don't want that. I want I want it to expand and be like a TV.
Right.
And I have. Yeah, okay. That's why I have one stacked on top of another, because it's all in front of me. I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to. I like doing this. We're really can't have this. sanding the edges here. I mean,
right.
They're both
Margins are
amazing.
thin. Yeah.
But
wait, so you have two 34-inch monitors curved, stacked on top of each other?
Yeah. Yeah, you want to see?
Stacked on top. I kind of do, yeah.
Wonder if I can do this.
Stacked on top of each other. I want to see what this looks like. Oh, that's cool. Hey, there's me.
You are.
That's pretty cool. I like that. So, since we're doing a little show and tell.
Yeah, let's see it. That's me. That's good. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, the thing about VIP.
That's from when they went to the concert. Shira gave me that as a memento.
Here's a ticket for a concert you didn't go to.
That Sydney put in the dancer position.
That's a good view. That's a very peaceful view.
Yeah, I've got this is nice. I've got windows all around me.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a very got it. I think you know, in a room like that against windows, you don't want a too big monitor,
right?
Or maybe you do. I don't know.
No, like I don't even like having this second one here because it's such a nice little room. So anyway.
Well, I think it's worth going into the office to pick one of those things up. Just if it's free, just I don't need no one. I'm good.
You want to stack a third one up there?
A third one up there. Then I'll be like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into this.
Right. You're looking for a certain degree of neck tilt. Not here. Not here. Not here. But right here.
So when I guess I could do this. I'd have to change my chair so that I could work like this.
We have our TV in the living room. Our living room is not ideal right now. It's a big open thing with the kitchen, and the kitchen's the better of the two rooms. So the TV's above the fireplace, and it's like that. Like, yeah,
if it's not long enough, it can be tough. Ours is above the fireplace too, but it works. It's
I like your setup.
Big enough.
Right. Your room has the right dimensions for that. And you've got the Eames chair, which is perfectly positioned. Perfectly
reclined thing. Get one of those monitors and check it out. It's worth it. You will love it. I mean, you've used it, you know, but like it's nice being able to have two normal size windows open on a single monitor. And what I'll do is if I'm at work and keep the old one, right? If maybe you can get a stand, you can figure out how to mount both of them. Then you can be doing something on one and then have your work shit on another one, which is what I like. Towards the end of the day, if it's winding down, I'll start playing games on one and then have my email up there.
I like that. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
Home office shit, man. It's fun. And we spend a lot of time in them. It's like the room you're in the most, if you think about it. So you might as well make it great, because what are you waiting for?
I like your setup. I like the time you've put into it.
Thanks. It's one of those things that, you know, you hear about people. They're like, oh, I hired someone, or I read these blogs and this is what they suggested and stuff. And I'm like, I know what I fucking want. Like, I'll think about it for a day and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that's okay. I know I want two, and I don't want them side to side. Like, that sucks, but that's what you'll see people suggesting, and they'll be like, you got to do this and like, no, I'll figure it out. I know how to do this. Same with closet stuff, like those Alpha at Creighton, or was it Container Store, like how to organize a closet. And you can go and like have a consultation with the person who's never seen your closet or how many clothes you have, and they'll tell you how to optimize it. Like, I'll figure it out. I just show me where the pieces are. I'll buy them. That kind of stuff. I like doing that. I think it's fun to be able to organize your shit in a way you like. It's like, take ownership of it. Anyway, coffee.
I like that. I don't have. There are things. Do you have things about yourself that you have like an aspirational vision of yourself that keeps conflicting with the real version of yourself. And no matter how hard you try, you just can't be that person that you might want to become in certain ways. Like, I wish I was a person that cared, because like I want the kind of setup you have, but I know that I'm only going to go so far, right? Like, I'm not going to put that much time into it. Like, you want to be a person that wakes up early in the morning, but no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to be that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. And I think if you asked literally everyone on the fucking planet if that was the case at some part of their life, they'd say, yeah, I'd like to be 30 pounds lighter and in better shape and have a full head of hair and yeah, all those kinds of things, right? But like, you know, the stuff that you can control, like setting up a sick home office, yeah, give me that. I can do that. I have no I have no aspirations that I have not.
You can
achieved.
control waking up earlier.
I didn't say that was a problem for me.
Right. And either way, I can
do it.
Seem to, I mean, I've got a decent setup, but I can't seem to go beyond this. Allison's really good about that stuff.
Well, then
she won't.
Then
make
it must
it the
be good
way
enough.
She wants. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's the battle between like what I want versus what I'm comfortable with. You know, like I'm perfectly comfortable with this, and I think that I want more, but maybe I really don't. You know,
well, and also
I would do it.
Yeah, and you know, effort's one thing of like getting it done, but it also costs money. I mean, if you've got other things to spend your money on, and that will make a difference, then yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. Like, you get to the point where things you own or the way you have things situated in your life, if they're good enough, you'll spend your money elsewhere on the things that aren't, that you need, right?
Yeah.
And then you figure it out from there. But yeah, I wanted a room. When we lived in the condo, it was tough. I needed a man cave, and so I got one.
Yeah, you've done a nice job there. I love. Yeah, I want to. There's so many things I want to do, and I like that. I'm happy. I'm happy being in that position right now. Zelda's getting my free time.
Yeah,
but
you still play it. So you're still playing it.
Yeah, I made a lot of progress on the main story. I think there are 24 main story quests, and I think I'm through 21 of them. Right.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I've like put that on the back burner because there's huge areas of the map I haven't explored. I still haven't unlocked the whole map in the depths. And I'm like, I don't want to get through the game and then not have explored 60% of the map, and then I can't, right? My one beef with Zelda is that once you do the final main story quest, you can't continue playing in the world.
Is that right?
After you've defeated the big boss. What will happen is you'll load your game, and it will always load to the moment before you face the big boss.
Oh.
There's no like post-saved Hyrule exploration mode.
That's annoying.
So what I did with Breath of the Wild was I waited. Like, I just never did that final boss fight until the new one was about to come out, and then I finished it. Right. So like that way it lasted me for years instead of months. And I'm going to do that again. So
you hear that, Allison?
Like in full exploration mode. Yeah. And it's awesome because like there's still stuff that my whole thing is like, now that I'm playing Zelda a lot, it pops up in my YouTube feed of other people's games and stuff. And I'm still seeing shit that I haven't yet done or discovered or that I didn't even know about. When the day comes where I'm like, yeah, I already found that. Yeah, of course I knew you could do that. Then I'm going to be sad. But now there's still like a little bit that I have yet to discover.
Well, there's how many shrines, right? Like 100 and something shrines.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't, or something. Once you get, so each, if you conquer 4 shrines, you get to add a heart to your life. And once you get enough, like I'm at the point where I have enough hearts that like, I'm not dying a lot. So I'm good with that. If I see a shrine, like I've got a few of them marked all over the map that I'm probably never going to go to. And because I don't really need to. They're fun. That'll be one of the final things I do is like clean up all the shrines and see what I missed.
So you're going to do what's your goal? Are you going to do all the side quests, or what are you working on right now?
that's the beauty of it. I'm there. So that's the thing. Like if I found that if I don't have an objective, I don't like it. Right. But I can't make one of my objectives the main story quest. So I sort of find things for me to do. Right now I'm just exploring. I'm completing my exploration of certain areas. So right now I'm focused on exploring Death Mountain, which I just did the main part of the quest and then I moved on. So like I don't even have a shrine unlocked in that area. So I'm going through looking for all the shrines and like seeing what weapons are there, messing around. Like I'm just fucking around. It's great.
You're just you're like a modern day Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, I'm like a modern day Ponce de Leon. I'm like Ponce de Zelda and Ponce de Link.
Ponce de Selkovitz. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is I'm like, okay, let me go check out Death Mountain. So I get to Death Mountain and I'm like, oh, what's that over there? Is that a chasm that takes me into the depths? All right, let me take a look at my depths map. Oh, I don't have that part of the depths map unlocked. Into the depths. Go down to the depths and I'm like, oh my God, is that a boss that I fought somewhere on the main ground level? Let me go see what that boss is about. On the way to that boss, I run it. It's like, and then, okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, Death Mountain. Back to Death Mountain. That's
cool.
Sort of how it goes. It's great. Yeah, I love that there's something. The amount of the attention to detail that those designers and they've thought of everything. They've thought of everything. The cool thing about Zelda is the auto build feature. So if you fuse two things together, any two things that are fusible, you can then create that item no matter where you are by using auto build. You can either save it to your favorites or if it's in your history, it saves like your most recent 25. So I noticed, I saw a YouTube video last night that if you go to this one part of the Sky Island, there are these sort of grates, like metal grates. I don't know if they're metal or some, mythical material. And people notice that if you fuse them together and then later recall them from auto build, they're very light. And if you attach a fan to them and stand on it, that grate, it will just shoot you up into the sky. The physics engine is the best part of the game. How everything has interplay with each other, all the items work together. You can build. It's like that's what makes the game so interesting. Is that I've never seen a game that had that kind of attention to detail where everything is kind of anything goes. It's all up for grabs, and it's all been thought of.
It's a true sandbox experience.
Yeah, yeah, pretty cool.
It is cool. I didn't realize that. So the auto build, you have to discover that, right? That's not.
But you get it. No, you get it pretty early in the game, or middle.
Well, it depends. It depends, right? Like it's
true
on what you're doing. The building is cool. It looked like a little frustrating. I'm sure you get better at it. And so when you auto build, you have to have the materials that you want to use nearby, right? You can't just out of thin air. Oh, you don't.
You can as long as you have to mine this rock material called zonite. And as long as so like my best building accomplishment is I built a hover bike. So the more materials you use, the more it drains your battery and the more zonite is required to replicate the build. So if you can build efficiently with a small number of parts, right? I have one fan attached to a steering stick that's attached to a second fan. So there's two fans with the steering stick in between, and it's basically like a little gliding motorcycle. And it only costs 9 zonite to build. And it takes me, it's a flying motorcycle that I can just zoom around everywhere. It's incredible.
What's the exchange rate on zonite these days?
Yeah, it's
how's Hyrule doing with the economy?
I have so much. It's ample. It's plentiful. I think I'm in the 500s. So like I can build whatever I want at any time. Yeah, I'm zonite rich. I'm mineral.
You're
rich.
a Hyrule high class.
I'm a high ruler.
You figure out how to get it on this stream, and we'll watch you play. I think that would be funny.
Yeah,
backseat driving on the Rich and Josh show.
I'm curious to see if you would be like, if I'm gonna, if we would both be attracted to the same distractions, or if you would be like, what are you doing? Like, go over there.
It would
And
be
I'm like,
that.
"Let me
And
check it out."
that's what it would make it funny. I mean, literally, it's like sitting in front of an old TV watching, two people playing a one-player game. That's
So my favorite
tale as old as time.
My favorite auto build is I went to this one area of the map that was like a monster fortress, and they, there you have to fight all the monsters, and then there's this cage, a cube cage that's open on the bottom that they had set on top of some poor guy that I had to rescue. So I fused the two cages together, and now I can replicate them in auto build. So when I come across monsters, I auto build this big cage out of nowhere, and I just drop it on top of them, so they're stuck in there, and then I just poke at them with my spears. That's
a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You've broken the game. I love it.
Yeah.
Should we try this golf thing? Let's just try it. It's double check to see how much it is. If it's $60, then we're not going to do it. We'll figure something else out. But double check it because it's on sale for me right now. I bet it is for you too.
On Steam?
Yeah, maybe. Well, Steam definitely, but maybe for your Xbox. If you can get it on Mac, then I think that works.
I think I can. Yeah, let's see. PGA Tour 2K23. $20. Let me just make sure I can get it for Mac.
Cross-gen edition. Oh, on Xbox it's $25. You want to get the cross-gen edition, I guess.
Okay. I don't see where it says. I'm not a big Steam user. Single player, online, PvP, shared split screen. Where does it say if it works for Mac? Oh, Michael Jordan bonus pack is $10. How do I not get that?
Oh, there's a golf game.
All right, let's see. Windows. Okay, yeah, so it doesn't look like this is for Mac.
So I think that's fine. Again, because if you can play on your Xbox, then I can share my screen while we're playing, and then we'll both be on. It doesn't matter. So as long as I can do it.
The problem is I can't connect my Xbox to the Mac.
I don't think it matters. As long as your Xbox is connected to the internet, we'll be playing the game together. And like I said,
okay. So and you got it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Doable. Very doable.
Try it, and let's before maybe on Friday well, you're gonna be gone, but before next week we'll do it. I think it makes sense. Let's just try it. It's $20. I'm okay with that experiment.
I guess I'm a little confused as to why it's hard to build a good golf game in 2023 when it wasn't in 2005.
I think they're trying to make them more realistic, and that's what makes it tough.
You think it's tough because it's too hard for the players to be good at?
No, I think
the feedback seems to be it just sucks.
I don't know if it sucks or not. I've played the golf club like 2019 or something. I have a golf game, and it does kind of suck, but it is what it is. The one thing I will say that they just can't do is, if you hit a ball into a penalty area, you have options of how you play next. But that you can't engineer that shit into a golf game at least the one from 2019 didn't give you could either replay the shot or drop it right where it was. Like, that's it. There's no like finding a place to drop it or going back on your line. There's none of that. Like, you can't do any of that. You can either replay the shot or drop it right on the edge. And that's like a rule of golf that they just don't have in golf games.
And how hard would that be to put in there?
I don't know.
I've
never developed a golf game. Maybe.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
You can see what the things they are. It seems to me that the 2K game was a bigger focus on let's put the branded clubs in there so that it's the tailor-made stealth driver. Let's put Michael Jordan in there. Let's put that like you can sign brand. It just seems like a corporate money grab.
Isn't that that's what all the 2K games are, right? Like, is that what
absolutely.
basketball's like?
Oh my God, dude. I spent a lot of money on that basketball game. Like, I'm not, it's the thing. I'm not proud of it because did I tell you about this? You can buy, so there's a game mode called My Team, and you buy packs of cards and you assemble your team, and it can be, like by the end of the year, it was like Magic Johnson or John Stockton, point guard, Michael Jordan from 95 at shooting guard, Michael Jordan from 92 at small forward, the Heat era LeBron at power forward, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at center.
Yeah.
And
that cost you money, right?
It cost me money to get all those cards. And I would get my ass kicked by someone who had, I can't think of funny random players, but not good players. And they would message me like, you're trash. You have all those 99s and you still suck. They weren't wrong.
I watched, by the way, I had, speaking of that, I watched a drunk ninja yesterday on Twitch spend, I don't know, 10 grand on cases for Counter-Strike. I guess you could buy guns or whatever and just open it just one after another. He was like, they were calling people because you can only spend $2,000 a day on Steam, I guess. I didn't know that until yesterday. And then, so they're like, he like had his wife start an account and his friend's wife started an account. They're like, dude, that makes a little sense, right? Like, he's got 20,000 people watching him do this. So there is a business case for that. He
can afford it. And he's probably not even paying for it, really. Like, I'm sure Steam is so happy that he's getting them publicity that they'll maybe send him a check. But like, think about that. Steam had to make a decision because why that limit's in there for kids, for teens.
Using their parents' credit card.
Right. And they drew the line. They were like, well, what's too much for one day? I think 2,000 is a place where we should, like, it should be 200, right? But they made it 2,000. They're okay with someone spending $2,000 a day, but above that, I don't know, man. That might be pushing it. Now,
it's funny. They all wanted to get knives. They're like, this knive's worth $55,000 in the marketplace, dude. That's what it's. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's going to pay $55,000? Which person is actually going to pay that? Anyway,
I mean that's the future. Digital. I heard Gary Vee say something about that one day. He was like, when the NFT craze was at its peak, right? And NFT is like the most misunderstood technology because there is value to it, right? It's like it's a smart contract. Like there's real world value to an NFT. It just happened to get really big when like the Bored Apes it became a speculative market. And Gary Vee was kind of pitching the value of it, and he said if you buy a high-end piece of art, right, like a painting, like a Van Gogh, for $1 million and you hang it in your house, how many people get to see it? Now, what about if you buy something and put it on Instagram? How many people get to see it? Right? It makes sense that the value of digital flexing would be inflated because you can show it to a lot more people.
Yeah.
Like how much is a blue check mark worth on Instagram? Right.
I get it.
There's a real dollar value assigned to it. So.
Personally, which is good, right? Like you a little more than me, but I am not at all caring about that, which is good.
But I was surprised at how quickly I got sucked in. Like it's when you're in the community, when you're in the world, you see, you feel justified in spending money on these things. But
yeah, it's an echo chamber, of course.
It's an echo chamber.
You need an echo chamber in those kinds of situations.
And then the year after, I spent a bunch of money on 2K opening packs, and then I realized, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do this again next year. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then I lost interest, right? Like, because why would you? Like, it's not something you can keep forever. It is for 6 months.
Right, we're past your cutoff time, by the way. I don't know if you need to roll.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, bro. Good luck. We'll connect more on this 2K23 thing. We'll play some games.
All right, broski. Have a good
day.
Later.